Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life moves fast when you're doing what you want.
Hey guys. Everything's changing, literally. Let me zoom you guys out. Ooh, can you guys still see me? Okay, so everything's changing, y'all. So welcome to Dream Bigger, Live Larger podcast. My name is Adeline Lys. I will be your host for this podcast. And basically, everything's changing. I'm doing a visual, I'm doing a podcast. My channel is changing. And this podcast is basically about a space where us girls could just vent. Us girls could just vent and just basically have a safe space environment to talk about what we want to talk about, whether it's growth, whether it's our career, whether it's our love life, whether it's just our life changing for the better or for the worse, and us having a safe space to grow. That is exactly what this channel and this podcast is going to be about. Like I said, I am your host, Adeline Lys, and let's get right into it because this is the first episode, and yeah, so I'm excited. So girls, so my girls, where can I really begin? So what really made me want and have a shift in my channel was basically looking at what I've recorded in the past couple of years and really making a decision on like, yeah, this is not going to be for me. Like, I'm doing these things for the wrong reasons. I'm just doing these things just to try to fit in. Dream Bigger, Live Larger. I literally created this a month ago. The title a month ago. Trying to create the channel, the podcast a month ago. Because I'm in a change and a different chapter of my life where I want things to be bigger. I want things to be better. I want things to be larger. I want my dreams to actually come true. And I want to be transparent to the fact that things are going to change for the better, but it has to be the decision I want to. So girl, let's get into it. So today's episode will be about 20s are not supposed to be perfect. So I'm in my late 20s. I turned 27 in February, and I want to make sure I have everything in tune before I start talking. What made me want to pick this to be the first episode is starting over. I'm in my starting over era. So meaning that the things I once did, the things I once knew, I'm changing, I'm shifting. And it's like, well, damn girl, like, what's really going on? Like, are you in crisis? Are you in midlife crisis? What's going on with you? Nothing's going on with me. It's like I'm making a decision to do better. I'm making a decision to really strive for better. And I think a lot of people's in that era as well. So like I said, I just want to be transparent. So I'm going to be going to my good notes because my iPad is on the couch and I do not feel like stopping this video. So I wrote down a couple things in my notes. So let's get into it. And this is my first podcast, and this is going to be streaming on all platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc., etc., etc. So let's get into what I want to be discussing. So when it comes to our 20s aren't supposed to be perfect, I wrote down the first thing I said is finding ourselves, learning ourselves, and who we are, and basically starting over. I've experienced a lot of things in my early 20s and even throughout the short 5 months of this year. One thing I realized, I do want to be a content creator, but I felt like I was doing things the wrong way, and I felt like I was just doing things to fit in and because everybody else was doing it. That's how I felt. I was vlogging. Child, I hate vlogging. I don't care who wants to disagree. We could get it on in the comments. I am a lazy girl when it comes to vlogging. I will really, like, something monumental is happening and I just want to be in the moment, and I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot to goddamn pick up the camera. I don't like vlogging that much. I'm a sit down type of girl. I'm a do my makeup and chit chat type of girl. I'm a like sip of wine, sip a glass of water type of girl, and we chit chatting. But me picking up the camera and vlogging every type of situation, I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, this ain't for me. I am too lazy to pick up this big old camera. Whether it's a big Canon EOS or a Canon GX7, whatever, your girl wasn't picking up. Even if it was an iPhone, that's how true it is. Even if it was an iPhone, your girl wasn't picking that up. I just wanted to live in the moment. I'd rather tell the story. But don't get me wrong, it's gonna be like, you know, little glips and glams that I am picking up the moment, but literally vlogging every moment of my life, I couldn't do it. So when I started doing YouTube, the idea of me doing YouTube was back in 2018. I was still in college at the time, and I really was also in an era of change where I was putting on my big girl panties. I turned 21, and I wanted to be in the moment where it came to content creating, and also when it came to just helping out people. The reason why I wanted to build the channel in the first place was to help out girls that were my age, going through things and having a safe environment. But that was the goal in the beginning. But everything started to shift when I started to compare myself to other content creators and started following what they were doing. And what they were doing wasn't my passion. But my goal was to get more viewers, was to get more subscribers, right? So that all comes to say, it's like, you have to own up to your flaws. You have to own up to like, yeah, I kind of messed up on that part. I should have stick to the blueprint and really like dive deep into like what I really wanted to do in life. It was really a sense of just owning up and knowing where I went wrong in my channel. So come down to present time, which is now Dream Bigger, Live Larger podcast. It's just now me stepping into that era like, yeah, now I did forget why I created a channel, but now we're gonna make it move. We're gonna make it do what it do. Okay, we're gonna literally get back to ground zero and start over again. So that's it. I'm starting over again. So number 2, something else I want to really talk about is struggling with comparing yourself with other people. So I'm gonna be really transparent, right? Let me just move the camera a little up. I'm gonna be really transparent when it comes down to comparing. One thing I struggled with within my career, within building this platform, was comparing and contrasting. And I say it, but I always tell people, like, you know, in order for you to succeed, you can't compare. But I wasn't taking my own advice. And that's something that really stood out to me a lot. It's like you were preaching, but you wasn't practicing. It's like you telling people, in order for you to, you know, live large and do better, you gotta start, you can't compare. Girl, preach, like, start practicing what you preaching, because you're not making sense out here. You're not. It really grind my gears, because it's like I felt like God was showing me, you're doing these things for the right reasons, but the way you're going about it, it's kind of like tearing you down a little bit. So when it came down to basically just doing this and creating content, I was doing it for the right reasons, but the way I was going about it was just so wrong. And I really want to dig deep into the reason why, because some people understand, like, we live in a world where everything is documented, meaning everything is recorded, everything is literally shown on TV, social media, etc., etc., etc. So I know when I reached my 20s and I knew things are not going to be perfect, life itself isn't perfect. I needed to start over, but it was like I was so comfortable at where I was at. For example, back in 2022 was a rough year for me, right? I lost my grandmother. I basically quit my job. The guy was entertaining and talking to ghosted me. And it was like, bro, like literally from the month of January to the month of August, everything was just like messing up for me. Like everything was not going as planned. And they always say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, right? Child, when I tell you 2022, within those 8 months, 2022 was beating my ass. I'm talking about like, I'm getting hits left and right. You would have thought I was fighting Mayweather. And I was literally losing. I was losing, bro. I was losing. Kid you not. And I was thinking while I'm sitting on my couch, I'm sitting in my apartment, I'm thinking like, yo, I really came a long way within these 2 years. Granted, yes, like I said, 2022 was not a great year for me in the beginning and in the middle. But it's like God showed me like, yo, in order for you to hit milestones, you're gonna have to start over. You're gonna have to change. You're gonna have to stop entertaining BS. Like you have to start knowing your worth. So the whole month of August, I can say, was like my breaking point of 2022. So August of 2022 was my breaking point. Yo, when I tell y'all, I literally came from vacation. I came from Mexico and your girl was having a good time. I'm talking about the sun was hitting, your girl got a tan. I was looking right, feeling right. As soon as I touched New York, boom, life was hitting me left and right. Something told me to quit my job. Mind you, I didn't even have a job to back it up. But something told me like, yo, something's in the midst of the air, bro. Like, you gotta fix up. You gotta fix up. And then something told me like, yo, quit your job. Your girl quit her job without having another job to back up. So your girl was broke. Mind you, your girl had bills to pay. Right? I quit my job. I came back. The dude I was entertaining for like 2-3 months ghosted me because we got into our argument. Your girl was in her feelings, meaning like boo-hoo crying. Like, what? I was depressed. I was like, your girl got no money and no love life. No dick is coming her way. Like, I'm talking about your girl was gone. And I don't know what happened to me at that month, but your girl was breaking down. And the job that I quit wasn't serving me. I didn't realize it at the time. And then the guy I was entertaining wasn't serving me as well. Didn't know it at the time. I was so comfortable. With what I had going on that I didn't see it wasn't no good for me. I didn't see it. Like, I could not see that it was not good for me at all, bro. It wasn't good for me at all. So when September hit, that's when everything shifted for the better. So the ending of September, I got a new job. I got my dream job, right? Well, I can't say my dream. I got the dream that I loved, okay? I love. But as soon as I got the job, something shifted in me. And something was like, I deserve so much better than what I was receiving. And I didn't realize that because I was so comfortable. I didn't want to start over. I didn't want to change because everything I had, I was so used to, I was so comfortable with. And I started thinking to myself like, yo, shorty, you're really bugging. Because I'm intelligent, I'm beautiful, and I'm letting an unpaid job, not even unpaid, like a job that wasn't even paying me correctly, my worth, dictate who I was. A person that I was only entertaining for a couple months dictating my worth. And it's like, to y'all, it might seem small, like, girl, get over it. But to be honest, everybody changes, everybody take things a different way, you feel me? But me personally, your girl was devastated. Your girl was so devastated. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. But when September had came, in September when I got the new job, more blessings started to come my way. So I'm saying this all to say is because God, and I don't want to be spiritual, but I'm just going to like really explain myself. God eliminates things in your life to really show you didn't need it in the first place. And that was my lesson. That was my lesson. My lesson was like, yo, in order for you to do better, you got to eliminate the things that are not serving you correctly. They're not even feeding and making you grow. So yeah, your girl had a rude awakening, but it taught me a lot. It really did. So I'm grateful for that chapter that closed and was gone and demolished. So yeah, okay. So I feel like this podcast is gonna be a trip, meaning like we're gonna be going through different places in my life, meaning like it's gonna be a trip to remember each episode. And this is the new spot. This is it. This is the new spot. I just want to share moments. I want to be transparent, and I also want to help each and every single one of my girls, okay, to just be better in life, do better, dream bigger, live larger. I feel like it's so much out there, and this world is so big. This world is so big, and we dream so small. I feel like anything you want to accomplish in life, you will be able to do so. So this is my first podcast. Please, I don't know, like we're gonna grow together, literally. So congrats to episode 1, you know. And like I said, this will be streaming on all of the podcasts, which means also my YouTube channel. Things are gonna change on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel was basically for myself. Meaning like vlogs and about my life. And no, we're changing it. It's not. I'm a very private person, and that's one thing I realized. I don't like to share or overshare. So we're gonna keep my business to myself. But I am also gonna dibble and dabble and be transparent too. Like, let's be real. But yeah, we're just gonna be doing the damn thing. And I do hope you guys, you know, love this episode. So yes, and yes. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And also don't forget to share the podcast as well. Share it to all platforms. Share it on your Instagram and Snapchat, TikTok, whatever the case may be. But yeah, girl. So I'm so happy and excited that this is the first episode. And yeah, ciao.